Hello. I'm late to my own stream today. Don't worry about it. It's just one of those days, you know? It's always harder to get moving in the morning anyway. I don't think anybody's actually worried about that, but hi, Stars. How's it going? I did also take the time to make myself some tea. Boop. I really should flip that so that it's like coming in from the edge of the screen. Maybe I will write that. Yeah, it's kind of an day, is it not? I think that's just the case. Where should I put that so that I'll see it again? I will DM Grim. That will work. Okay. Well, speak of the devil. Well, speak of the bun. Ooh. I will do a stretch. Ugh. I will do a hydrate. Oh, that's another thing I need to do. I'm editing that whole thing. I keep forgoing things. That's what I didn't put on my to-do list. I remember! And then I will forgore again unless I write it down. Add new cat. To hydrate. Cat found me another cat to add to the hydrate redeem. I'm taking a sippy. My brain is once again like hurting a bag of cats on crack or something. I don't know. Saying something nice about myself. I had thought of something and now I don't remember what it was. Because, again, cats. I don't know. I'm good at scheduling things. How about that? Because I did schedule something fun for this weekend for me. So I get to have a fun little reprieve with a friend on a Sunday, which is nice. How's everybody else doing? I mentioned I'm like, I don't know, my brain is being a butthole, which like is not, it's not news, honestly. My brain is often a butthole. Just sometimes it's a louder butthole than other times. Can you guys even see that pencil sketch a little bit? It's pretty light. You can see the tape around the border. Like, I know, Grim, you keep making your statuses really depressing things. Like, we see it. We're gonna do a heart. It's a heart, and it's gonna have gold light coming out of it. But I wanted to do the heart coming out, like, past the border of the rest of the piece. So we're gonna do a, like, dark background here so that it's clearer that the light is coming around, like, out into the white border. Is this a standard paper size for a piece of art? It absolutely is not. Are we gonna do this anyway? Yes, because fuck it. I didn't want to cut the paper, so we're just gonna do this. I think it looks nice, the ratio, even if it isn't one that's like a standard frame size, which I try to do standard frame sizes just because it's helpful when you're buying art, but I've also started just kind of going like whatever. You can get what you're gonna get. If you want to get it custom framed, then do it. Kind of a situation, because like I don't sell enough original art to really worry about that, if I'm being honest. So I think the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to do the background first, and then, well, maybe I'll do like a wash of the heart shape just so that I know where the edges are probably going to be. I think that the smartest way to do that would probably be to finish the heart completely and then do the rest of it. But I don't want to leave the tape on the paper for longer than I have to. Just because it's going to damage the paper, and the longer I leave it on there, the more adhered it becomes. I did have to cut all of this. I was cutting this while I was in Stars's chat yesterday, actually, and that's why I was so slow to chat, was because I was doing very specific tape cutting. I used tweezers to peel it up. Like we were being like really focused with it. But let's just, oh, actually, I forgot to bring paper towels over here again, so I'm gonna get up and get more paper towels. You know what I'm going to do though, because this is a regular problem, I'm just gonna bring a whole roll of paper towels over here, and it's my roll, and nobody else can have it. And that way, I don't need to get up every 3 seconds to get more. We can make things easier on our future self. Okay. And I flung my phone into the distance doing that. It's fine. Here, listen to some plastic crinkles. That's fun for you, right? All right. So, me finishing the sentence I started with. First, I will clean the palette. That's just brains, man. This is probably going to be a shorter stream just because I'm like, I do want to get this started. I'm not like forcing myself to stream, but I'm also not going to continue to push my brain to the point of exhaustion in order to stream. Because I'm going to tire quickly, and I know that. So, just as a warning, and it's not me beating myself up, it's just me being honest about how exhausting my brain is. Because I also have other projects I need to work on too that will take a little bit less brain power. So I also have an audiobook that I want to listen to some more. I got Elvira's autobiography, which has been pretty interesting so far. And she reads it herself, the audiobook. She's narrating it, which is good because she's funny. So it's fun to read. Although she did grow up in a time with a lot of racism, and that is coming through in the writing, I think, just because she's writing about like her childhood and stuff. So that's something to be aware of if you're interested in it, I guess. Okay. Oh, buff titanium. I must have wiped that off the last time we were cleaning that. That's fine though. I don't really need that on there. Hey Bean, how you doing? Okay. Do you guys want to see like the disaster of a paper towel that's sitting over here where you guys can't see it? This is where I put my water and stuff, and my little brush wipey, but I also sometimes brush on the paper towel. Look at that. Isn't she beautiful? I swear that like the paper towels and stuff that artists use could be art pieces in and of themselves. That is one of my favorite things in like art museums, when they have one of the artists' like old palettes or whatever, just hanging out. It's fun, I think. Okay, putting a wash of color down is what I'm doing. We're gonna start with pink, and then we'll deepen that up with like blues and purples and such, and get to like a brighter red. But I think just doing kind of like, maybe I want to do like a proper underpainting of this actually. We can do that. We can do pink in the highlight areas. Do I have other stuff to say today? I don't know that I do. I don't know what that sentence was going to be, but she's gone. Don't worry about it. My brain, she is not online, which, like, fair. I do think I want to do a little bit of pink around where the lights are. As well. These aren't going to be like perfectly straight lines. I did use a ruler to do them, but like it's watercolor and I'm me. It's not going to be straight. Like okay, there would be a deeper shadow there from that one that's in the back. You would not believe how like ridiculously difficult it was to find like an actual reference photo of a human heart. Because AI is a bane on our entire existence. And like almost every single image I saw was AI and like very obviously AI. It was really annoying. Hello. Ah, Doomed Red Shirt. Good to see you. Thanks for the follow. I know that person. Okay, I guess a little bit like right through here too. It's so weird how when I'm painting on stream, I'm like almost exclusively looking at my screen because it's got the straight on image and I don't. Okay, do I want to go to red from there or do I want to go straight to magenta? I think let's go to magenta and maybe lighten it up a little bit. I did say a nice thing. I did. I said that I was good at scheduling stuff. Yeah, I don't know that my painting is particularly magic, but there is definitely a point where I'm like, wow, this looks like shit, and that's because it isn't done yet. And then at some point, magically, it starts to actually look like something. Yeah, that's fair. That's how I feel about people who sculpt, honestly, and who do like lino cuts. I think we all have like any person who's creative has those like mediums where they're like, how do you do that though? Yeah, fair. This has taken me like a lot of time to get even vaguely comfortable with it, but I'm so stubborn that I'll just keep banging my head up against something until it goes the way that I want. Sometimes, not always. If I'm lucky, that's the way the stubborn goes. But sometimes the mental Illinois goes, if you aren't good at this the first time you try, then you're actually a failure. Which, like, that's not how literally anything works, but sure, brain, thanks. Yeah, for sure. I also do digital. So, like, I don't know. You can do like very different things with both of them, which is good. Like, yeah, I had like a I don't know, big bad depression slump, which turned all of my living spaces into basically dumpsters. So I really didn't have space to do anything. So I started doing digital art once I started feeling like up to doing creative stuff again. And digital definitely does really help with that because it's like way less of a scary prospect to make art again, too, if you can just like delete a file, you know? It's it's much less scary. Okay, I want to do some purple for these shadows. And then the only blue I think I'm going to use in the underpainting is going to be in the veins that I've decided to pop out. Let's see, I decided that right here was going to be some too. I will need to let this dry and like go back in, but this is like the bottom of the painting, so we're going to be putting like a bajillion layers on top of this and it'll be fine. Where else? Right here. Like some right through here too. Oh, 6,000 layers. Always 6,000 layers. I very much add like it's kind of the same way I do watercolor, honestly. And my boyfriend, who's also an artist, has mentioned to me that when I do digital art, he can see that I'm using it like paint a little bit because I do like layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. And that's also how I shade. So, is by adding more layers to it. That's fair. I use an iPad, which I mean, I'm limited to how many layers I can use because I'm using an iPad, so however much space it has on it and at any given moment is how many layers I can do, you know? Okay, I think I do want to purple up the blue a little bit, just so it's not like, yeah. We want a little bit more of a blurple here. Oh, I just totally have like a big old space of white there that shouldn't be there. We'll go back to that in a moment. Well, it looks vaguely like a heart already, so I think that's something. I will say, I mentioned this at the top of stream, but my brain is not in a particularly good place today, so I'm probably going to end up being meaner to myself than normal. You're welcome to call me out on it if you feel that I'm being mean enough that I need it. But I also just have the brain bads today. So it might just make me bratty. You never know. Hard to tell with me. Yeah, that's totally fair. I use Procreate, which you do have to pay money for, so it's not like the best option. But I have really gotten used to it. Somebody got it for me as a gift, which is why I ended up using it as much as I did. But I really like it. It does have a learning curve, and it doesn't have, if you're somebody who uses a lot of text, it doesn't have a lot of good text options for editing. Okay, that one spot, that's what I need to fix. I remember. This spot right here should not be white. There we go. Okay. One of the things about doing like an underpainting like this is that I'll get really nice like blooms in the pigment that I think are really cool, but I know I'm just going to end up covering them up completely, and it's a little disappointing. Let's see. That was too much water. Calm down. I do find that getting a good cover for the iPad really helps too, like a screen protector. I really like using the paper type ones. The one that I have right now costs like a ridiculous amount of money, I felt like, but it's so much better than the other ones that I've used that it was worth it. It was, what is that one called? It's like Rock, Paper, Scissor 2 or something like that. And it's one of the like paper feel ones. But that makes sense for me since I like, you know, do this for a job. That's not for everybody. Okay, this looks recognizable as a heart already, which is a good sign, I think. I do need to let those edges dry, and then I think I'm going to do the black for the background. Then we'll let that dry so that I can peel up the tape without it being an issue. I mean, it's still going to tear my paper, and I know that, but... Hi, Potato! Which is frustrating, but such is the way. I do feel like I've lost a line here a little bit. I mean, we're not done yet, but I can also just do this just to remind myself that there's a thing there. That also makes sense with where the light's coming from, so. Okay. Do I have anything else to say today? I don't know that I do. A few days left, like 6 days left to order stuff from my shop if you want it in time for Christmas or Hanukkah. My shipping times are different than regular USPS because I'm in Alaska, so there's a little bit smaller of a window there. Oh yeah, that's totally fair. It is really different from Clip Studio, for sure. But if you need help with it, you should feel free to shoot me a message or something. I mean, I don't think that I can teach you anything that like 10 top tips for Procreate YouTube video could, but I'm happy to answer questions or something if that's helpful. The last step of this is going to, like the whole piece is going to be putting in the metallic. Well, no, that's not true because I want the paint still, or the tape still down for that. Man, I don't know what I'm doing. We're just going to keep winging it and we'll see how it goes. I mean, that's how I feel about like every art piece though. And it usually ends up fine. It's just like, I don't know, one of those brain things where I'm like, the reason I did this a certain way was to do these things, but I cannot make those things go into step order for myself today. I did consider doing this in masking fluid instead, but that's scarier than the tape. Yeah, I feel that for sure. I find that doing one of the things that I did more recently was doing like the food paint challenge and stuff on Instagram. Um, just because it gives you a specific reference photo and then you just kind of do what you're going to do, but it gives you like a starting spot so that you don't feel quite as stuck. And if it turns out shitty, nobody ever has to see it, you know? I did save one from the liquid paint challenge, which is another Instagram art challenge, because I thought it was cool. I might do that on my own though, just for funsies, because it was like some really goopy strawberries and I was into it. Love drawing me some goop. But doing that or like doing a color palette from I use Coolors, Coolors. Um, and you can just randomly generate a color palette and you can do something with that. For a while, I was doing randomized color palettes and making people pick a Pokemon for me, and then I would do the Pokemon in that color palette. I actually have one of my freebie stickers that I've been putting in orders is that's this, is from that. So somebody picked a palette because I have a like sheet of 100 color palettes that I put together, like a digital sheet. And then I had somebody pick the Pokemon for me. So this is Sneasler in the wrong colors. Oh yeah, gotcha. That's fair. No, you're fine. I mean, I talk about my bullshit all the time. You're welcome to also talk about your brain bullshit. Um, yeah, it's rough when you feel like, I don't know, you aren't worth the creative effort because you haven't earned it. But the fact of the matter is, humanity has never needed to earn creativity. We've been set up in a society where it feels like we have to earn any piece of joy that we can squeeze out of this god-awful universe, but it's just not the case. So it sucks when you get made to feel like that, and it's really hard to shake, so I feel you. If you need somebody to give you permission, I give you permission to do a creative thing. I didn't go all the way to the line right there. What did I do? Hi, Sleepy! Good to see you. What did I do right there? Oh, that's okay. I figured it out. We're fine. We could just do a little, because this is back farther. And that's a chamber. I see what's going on here. Like that. All right. The day off. But that means no free popcorn. Like, that's... I don't know. That's a trade-off. Oh, good star. Or star. Yes, good stars. I also do that. This is a little thing. And I add to these, and once we fill up the jar, I'm going to give away a commission, is the plan. Yeah! I love me some little stars. I also love me toasted stars, but we knew that already. Okay. There. Better. I bet you do, Sleepy. I had some popcorn yesterday, and I didn't even finish it. So I have some, like, little bit stale popcorn to eat later, which doesn't sound appealing, but it gives you that like movie theater vibe, you know? There's something really specific about how mildly stale movie theater popcorn sticks in your teeth. And sometimes you just want that, but you don't want to have to deal with people to get it, you know? You could eat those if you wanted to. I wouldn't eat the sparkly ones. I don't think those would be good for your mouth. Ooh, yummy. Yeah. Real popcorn enjoyers get it. I have my sunglasses sitting over here because I took them out of my purse. I need to remember to bring these with me when I travel because we're going someplace where the sun is. That's so valid. See, I have a specific... Hi, Tens! I have a specific brand of microwave popcorn that I use. I'm an Orville Redenbacher movie theater butter popcorn person. Yeah! We just love popcorn here. This is a popcorn appreciation stream now, actually. I just really like popcorn. It's STEM food. It's just a food that is STEM, you know? Why did I pick up this paintbrush? That's not the size I want to use. Okay. I think we're mostly dry enough on the edges that I can do the black without messing with it. Although I'm not actually going to do black, I'm going to do Payne's Gray. Which is like a cooler gray. Yeah! Yeah, I constantly have tiny little pieces of popcorn holes in between my teeth. I've gotten pretty good at getting them out in general, and like I know where my problem areas are. But sometimes it's worth it. You have to decide if it's worth it for you to deal with the things you love, you know? I'm willing to suffer for my love of popcorn. I love that we can bring popcorn lovers together like this. Oh, Tens, also, I put your sticker in the mail this morning, so it should get to you soon. Which I should also close the giveaway officially on the back end of stuff, since I did that. Oh, do you guys remember me bitching? I could just end the sentence there. Do you remember when I bitch? Because it's constantly. Me bitching about how Amazon had like lost my packages for what I was doing for people's Christmas presents. I reordered some and they're supposed to get here. They've been shipped, but I ordered them in 2 separate batches so that hopefully I get them all, because there's one specific gift that's going to take me longer than everyone else's. And some of you have maybe helped me with that a little and know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to stay super vague here. Oh, no worries at all, Tens. I'm sorry that I'm just a natural nagger. I nag all the time. I'm just like that as a person. So I make it seem like a bigger deal than it actually is. But hopefully those will actually show up so I can get started on that and actually send people the photos that I have promised I would send them. I haven't been able to start it because the journals were supposed to get here. Like the first order I made for the journals was supposed to get here like 2 weeks ago, and they kept pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back. And finally, like, they were like, oh yeah, your package definitely isn't arriving. And I was like, damn, you think? Because I was next on the delivery schedule for like the Amazon official delivery, and the driver just like dropped off the face of the map. Like they were like, we've lost contact with your driver, but your package still should be showing up. And it said that for 4 hours. And the next day it still said that no, it should be there in the next few days. And I'm like, I think that your driver quit in the middle of a shift, which like valid, and took my package with them as severance pay. And that seems to be the case because it disappeared. But the good news of all that is that the journals, when I rebought them, were on sale, so I actually spent less money. I did get fewer of them too because I don't think I'm going to have time to get them all done. But there's one in specific I really want to get done because that's going to involve more work. But you guys know. If you know, you know. Because I'm going to have a lot of extra stuff to write in it is the idea. But I got a bunch of like craft paper covered journals, and my plan was to like paint on the covers to make them special. But I just really don't think I'm going to have the time because we're leaving the 25th and I still have like like this and other things that I actually get paid to do. So I think I'm SOL on those. But I still do have some of them coming, so I might paint them and do giveaways or something just for some funsies. I don't know. We'll see. Ooh, nail polish. Excellent. Are you still streaming nail art? I know that I followed you, but I haven't been paying super close attention to stuff just because I really have not had the time to do much of anything, really. Yeah, Hollow Taco stuff looks like really nice. I don't have any other stuff. I use pretty much exclusively Zoya brand nail polish just because it's one that doesn't make my nails separate. If I have too much like nail polish on like all the time, my nail layers start to separate and it's fucking disgusting. Okay, that would be why I haven't seen you. That's totally fair. I was just asking. Like no guilt or anything involved. Don't take that. Oh God, yeah, Sleepy. My cuticles just like stop existing on like 2 of my fingers on each hand every winter. They're just gone. Not that my cuticles are like the pinnacle of health any other time of the year, but... Ooh, I hate that. Mine get like that sometimes. So because I have, like, on my pointer finger and my middle finger, they get really bad. But because they just retreat so far, I'll get, like, my actual finger caught on stuff a lot, and it will, like, tear. It's the worst, and I hate it. I've been better about, like, moisturizing and stuff, but there's only so much you can do. Like, yeah, disaster. Are we, like, secretly related or something, Sleepy? Um, yeah, I do. I do moisturize my hands and oil myself up on a regular basis. But I do also live in the land of constant winter. Um, so there's only so much I can do. I also like just have delicate skin in general. Um, I'm delicate. I'm delicate. Yep. I have a jojoba vitamin E oil mix that I use on the majority of my skin and my hair. And then I also use just like O'Keeffe's, the like ultra extreme worst winter hands mix, like 5 times a day because I'm dry. Yep. Oh, I hate it when they discontinue stuff. Like, I get it in a business sense, but also give me my stuff. It was way worse when I was working at the bookstore too. Because like books suck up any moisture that's in the air, so you get like super dry, and then you end up like catching your finger on covers and stuff, and it's really bad. Ah, excellent. Well, you should tell him to bring it back just for you then. For old time's sake. I'll probably end up doing another layer of Payne's Gray over the top of this. Yeah, that's fair. It's just like the little bit of skin like right here. It can get like really delicate, and it doesn't necessarily just have to do with painting your nails, but people who do paint their nails tend to put more chemicals on their skin right there, so we're a little bit more cognizant of it, I think. Yeah, nail polish remover can be really rough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a few of those. I don't know where all of mine ended up. I have to like, I basically like sleep in the guest room because it's above ground, so it's better for my brain than my actual bedroom. Um, And that means that I have to move all of my shit out of the room anytime somebody comes to visit, which means that all of my stuff like just disappears because I have brain worms and I don't remember anything from moment to moment. Which means like I'll just put something in a place that I think I'll run into it again, and then I don't, and I'm like, that just doesn't exist anymore, I guess. Yeah, see, both the room that's going to be my studio and my bedroom are downstairs. And for a long while, like I was just 100% living out of my bedroom, and I think that really contributed to the mental state I was in because I literally never saw the sun. Um, so I stay up here now. I do still like my room still needs to be cleaned out really because I could use it for other stuff too. Like we could put, I don't know, a treadmill or something down there and that would also be helpful, but I haven't dealt with the shame yet in order to like get going on that. I think I'm getting there though. That was part of what getting the room that's going to be my studio set up was dealing with like the same situation on a smaller scale, and I did okay with that. So we're getting better. But damn, being mentally ill is like two full-time jobs, and it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I am like properly taking my vitamin D supplements and stuff again, and it's helping. But like, also, why do I need to put so many extra things into my body? This is bad design. Bad design. Yeah, take your meds, everybody. If you haven't taken your meds, take your meds. Think an oiter if you need to. Maybe do a little stretchy. Whatever would make you feel good in the moment. I may end up using a little bit of Payne's Gray in the shading, but I don't think so, like on the actual heart. What's funny is like I'm really good about remembering to take my vitamins because I have it built into like my breakfast routine, and I'm very much a person of routines. My routines get disrupted, run, because I am about to lose my shit. Um, but I had a different breakfast than normal yesterday just because I felt like using some of the stuff that we had around the house to do something a little special. And therefore, I forgot to take my vitamins because I usually take my vitamins in between two specific pieces of the breakfast that I always eat. Like, this is the breakfast that I've been eating every single day for like 5 years. And because I didn't have that regular breakfast yesterday, I forgot until like lunchtime to take my vitamins. Um, Hi, Big White Bear. Good to see you. Yeah, exactly, Tens. I've gotten a lot better about the tooth care thing. I've mentioned this before, but we're just going to talk about my depression slump repeatedly today. That's what's going to happen. Um, but because of the bad depression slump, I straight up did not brush my teeth for over a year. So I have like 12K worth of work to do inside of my mouth in order to continue having teeth. Um, and so since then, I've gotten a lot better about dental care for like obvious reasons. But ooh, veggie soup. I love soup. Soup is so good. Yeah, I've had a lot of like dental anxiety for my whole life. And also just like I was never good at making that a habit, which I know now is fucking ADHD thing and nobody fucking told me. But also like I didn't understand why you had to do certain parts of it. Like nobody had explained to me what the purpose of it was, so I didn't see the point, which again is an ADHD and autism thing. Um, but like I don't know. I've never been good at that. I've never been good at forming habits. My mother was also not very good at it, and she also had tooth problems like for a long time. Like when she passed away, she had like three of her original teeth. Um, so like, yeah, especially when you don't know that that's the problem, which I didn't. I'm like 98% sure my mom also had ADHD and she was never diagnosed, and that's why whenever I'd go to her with something I was struggling with, she'd do oh, well, everybody struggles with that. No, actually. But I've gotten better about it, especially with like I do like a journal habit tracker, and so getting to color in the little blob is good brain juices. Yeah, and she was a girl, you know. So it wasn't even like she wasn't in the correct demographic multiple times in order to get diagnosed with that. Um, Even though she skipped a grade, so they had to give her like a mental health diagnosis thing that they give to kids to see if they're like capable of dealing with the social change, you know? It's wild. Well, you just got to include yourself with that, Sleepy. So whenever Tomato does, you have to do too. And I'm also like that. I have mom friend diagnosed, you know. Mm-hmm. Yep, the scatterbrained thing or the they're just forgetful. Yeah, I feel like we're very similar, Sleepy. Oh, actually, Sleepy. I have a change that I want to make on the art I made for you. I forgot to add lens flare to it because I was gonna do that. And like little sparkle effects coming off of the rhinestone. So I'm gonna do that and send you the thing again. Um, just as a warning, I just realized that while I was falling asleep the other night. I was like, ah, shit. That was gonna be the last step, and I forgot. Good, good. Yeah, I figured it wasn't like a huge rush thing, but I remembered and I should get it done before I forget because my brain likes to forget things because I have the forgetting things disease. Um, you know how it is. Okay, I should pull up my reference photo for this before I get much farther so that I don't just riff it and ruin everything. Okay. Okay. I also should move up the brightness on this. Why are you so quiet? Okay. Up. Can you sit there and be polite? Thank you. Okay, we're doing like way different colors than the actual reference image, but that's fine. Because I'm an artist and I'm allowed to do what I want. Oh, good. Yes, go take a shower. Do the cleanliness routine. Okay. I need to carve some areas out of this so that I remember what's in the foreground and what's in the background. I've also mixed things up a little bit for myself because I've added extra light sources. Man, it took my brain forever to put that sentence together. But like right here needs to be farther back. As does this area right there. Which I'll just do some purple, I think, right through here. And some pink there. Oh, I haven't explained to you guys why this is what it is. I don't think it really needs like a big deep explanation or anything. But I mentioned that I've been doing more mindfulness practices and like meditating and stuff in an attempt to control my own godforsaken brain, which is only kind of working, but it's early days still. But one of the things that I did was like gratitude practice, basically, where you sit and you think about happy things because I think that's good for my brain. Think about things that you're grateful for. And one of the things that they mentioned was like thinking about this bright light that starts in your chest and expands. And because I am overly literal, I thought about it like my heart literally exploding with gold light, which like the golden light is a pretty common thing in various meditative practices, where you imagine a golden light inside of you, or you imagine golden light pouring into your body, or whatever. And I always think about that like super literally. Just, I don't know, I find that image easier to hold on to when I'm doing stuff like that. Because I don't know if you could tell by me being a visual artist, but I'm a pretty visual person. So that's where this came from. And then the I think I said this already, but the light is going to be the color of the month, which is this nice gold color. So it's going to be shiny. I think this one will probably be made into prints if I'm happy with the way it's turned out. One of the things that I want to do next year, like one of my big goals, is to start selling prints through my shop instead of just through Imprint, because I really don't like the way Imprint runs, and I would like to have control over the quality myself, because I have control issues, which is why I run my own business entirely by myself and nobody else is allowed to touch my shit. The main problem with that is I don't have a lot of storage space, but we're getting to the point where my studio is going to be set up. I just need to get the flooring installed and then I can start putting stuff in there. So I think we're getting to the point where I could do that. So I'll probably start with like a few designs in prints and see how those go. So if there's a piece of mine that you like really think would be great as a print, you should, I don't know, tell me and I will consider adding it. But I'm thinking this one will be a good print. I think the Stellar Sea Lion one will be a good print. I also think the Neighboring Atoms one that I did would be a good print. I'd show you those two, but the original sold. So, but it's always nice to get like other people's opinion on that, because the things that I like best are not necessarily the things that sell best. That's just how doing art works. But yeah, that's on the docket for next year. So is the washi tape. Gonna start doing that too. There's the, so we did this design last month. So that will be a washi tape at some point next year. And I think I want to make at least one, or I could just drop that. I want to make at least one more design so I can have like 2 designs right off the bat. I have an idea for one that's like more sewing related, for sure, but I'll probably come up with other ideas too, because I always have ideas, pretty much. I have an excess of ideas. Yeah! So we did both like the rubber duckies. Technically they're buttons, as you can tell by the other buttons. And then we also did a rubber ducky isopod last month. Our color last month was this yellow color. So it was a rubber ducky kind of month. We also did this guy for a set of stamps that I'm working on as bonus stickers to my orders, or ones that you can get one in person when I start selling up here. But oh, all good, Big White Bear. Any sort of lurkitude is fine by me. Yep, makes sense. I have lost where this line was. Let's just, it was kind of like that. Yeah, I appreciate anybody tuning in for whatever length of time or in whatever capability they're able to do. I still like, as a person who streams, I'm still surprised people want to hang out with me a little bit. Not gonna lie. It's just one of those things where like sometimes you start up stream and you're just like, I wonder if anybody's gonna show up today. Oh yeah, I saw that. That's so good. I saw it. What was it, a sketch or something in rainbows, I think? I am probably going to end up using a little bit of white ink at the end of this. Maybe I'll just use some gouache to get some shine on some of these areas. I think it's because, generally speaking, I was the weird kid that people didn't like for the majority of my life. And I also was raised in an environment where I was viewed as a bit of a nuisance, to put it gently. So I've been told that I'm like very difficult by a lot of different people for the majority of my life. So the fact that people actually like enjoy who I am, especially now that I'm not masking, is still like a shock some days. But we're working on it. I also mentioned at the top of stream, and I'll mention it again, my PMDD is flaring today, which means that my brain is being meaner to me than normal. And my brain is never particularly nice to me. So I'm a little harder on myself than usual today. Do you think at some point I'm gonna need to move to like an actual red? But I'm really digging like the pink at the moment. I think that looks cool. I don't know. There's something like, I feel like when you were bullied as a kid, there's like a little piece of that bullied kid that's always inside of you trying to protect you. And like, yeah, it sucks, but it's just the kid trying to remind you that being yourself, and like sometimes when people are talking to you, it's to bully you. Even though that's like definitely no longer the case, I still have to talk that kid down off the ledge on a regular basis. Because I was definitely like, even among the weird kids, I was the weird kid. And I think part of that was just because I was never actually myself, because I wasn't allowed to be for a very long time. That looks funky. What can I do to shape that out a little bit better? Just do that a little bit. Will help. I could also just splash tea everywhere. That would help, I'm sure. Yeah, I think near to the end I'm going to end up doing, instead of pink, I'm probably going to do like a crimson tinted red, or like a violet tinted red. I know words. It's just called crimson, but it's a cooler red, and I think that'll make it look bloody. Because like blood is such like a deep color. I mean, I don't need it to look like hyper realistic or anything. That's not the aim here, but I do want to get that like nice deep color to it because I think it's pretty. Which really is just going to be a lot of layers of color. But I do think starting with the pink was the right call. I think the neighbor's got a new dog. I doubt you guys can hear that, but there's a different bark from next door than there used to be.
Here comes the music.
This part is a bit too light in comparison, but It also is one of the lightest spots on the actual reference, so it probably tracks. I have decided to basically ignore all the fat on the reference too, which is something too. Thank you. I think we're getting somewhere. It still feels flat to me, but that's because it's not done yet. And I need to like allow the piece to exist as it is for a little bit. Probably gonna just end up deepening that blue a little bit for the veins too, but I need to remember to leave some lighter space for the highlights for that too. Do need to deepen up here too to match, I think. One of the things with watercolor too is that it dries more, like it lightens up as it dries, which means you kind of have to wait for it to dry to see exactly where you're at, which luckily watercolor dries really fast, so it's not like, I don't know, oil painting or something where you need to wait for 6 years for it to be done. But it is something I have to remember while I'm working. Which, as we know, remembering is definitely my strongest suit. I've done this in the not wisest order I've ever done it in my life. So we have this nice big splotch of wet paint here, and now I'm gonna go over here. Where do you think my hand's gonna land? We'll see how long I can go without getting paint hands. Watercolor does dry fast, but not quite that fast. I think I'm maybe being a little bit too cautious with my purple for the shadows. I think going a little bit harder with that will give it a little bit more depth. But I can build up to that as we go. Not a huge deal, just noticing I'm trying to be pretty sparing with the purple. I think because I really want this to be like a warmer color overall, especially since I chose a cool color for the background. Well, the background, I don't know. It's not a full background. Maybe I'll put another layer on the background before we end today. I feel like I've flattened this area out a little bit too much. I think I need to carve in a shadow right through here. that does dip in. I'm gonna forget I said that, but it's fine. Just damn it. I do think that I need to add some more purple right in this section here before it dries completely. Just because I do want that pushed to the background a little bit more, and that's what our purple is for here. So I can just deepen this whole thing up a little bit. Okay. See, I'm not forgetting. I'm not forgetting. Put a little bit more shadow right through here. I remembered. The trick to remembering things is to say you're gonna forget. Life hack. Okay, I think that's pretty solid. I do think that I need to work up here a little bit more. I also think that I want to put some more purple right there to push it back a little bit more, even though this is going to be our darkest part because of where the directional light is. We're getting somewhere. I still think we have like a lot of layers to go, but it's starting to look like something. I should actually take a photo of this for my Patreon post. Are you gonna drip if I tip you? I don't think you're that wet. I think we're fine. Oh, gross, Tens. I'm sorry. I'm cursing that person with my mind. Okay. I don't know. There's something about starting a new project where I end up like really intimidated by it. I'm like, ooh, am I trying to paint like above my skill level? And then once I get started, it's like, it's all just shapes and colors, man. It's not that serious. And eventually I end up like chilling out a little bit about it, but I don't know. Repeatedly, I have done this where I'm like, oh, I think I've bit off more than I can chew this time. Yeah, that sucks, Tens. I'm sorry. Just like if you could have said it earlier, then all of our lives wouldn't be ruined. Like, please? But customers do be like that, so I feel like a lot of people just like don't think at all about how their actions affect somebody else. And I feel like it's most apparent in like customer service facing positions. Oh, that's just because of the light. I was like, why does this spot look like so much brighter than it does here? Oh, that's even worse. They should know better. It's just because of the light, because the paper's crinkled a bit there because I'm using a bunch of water on it. It's fine. was maybe too much purple. Let's pull some of that up. It's fine. I want more of the magenta there and not quite such a purple. With the same situation I did before, which is we're gonna have like a white spot right there because I over wet that, but I think it's okay. I think it'll read as a highlight and we'll be fine. But I am definitely getting to the point where I'm overworking that section and I need to leave it, otherwise I'm gonna make it worse. So you chill, okay? Thank you. I do think we're getting to the point where I should break out some red, but not quite yet. I think it's bright enough outside that I can turn this light down a little and then you can actually see what's going on the paper a little bit. That's a little better. You can definitely see the paper texture though, which is fun. I did, you guys can't see, so I'm not even going to tell you, but I made a mistake right here. Don't worry about it. No, leave it your normal time. That's what I would do anyway. Don't let one person not doing their job correctly keep you there longer to make up for their mess. Even if it's just because they can't respond in a timely manner. That's a them problem. Like, I mean, I understand it will also become a you problem, but... Oh, my back just popped so loud. Spines are a mistake. Okay. That looks good. I wanna do that guy a little bit more. But like, also it's Friday. You should let yourself be free, I think. Okay, I do need to make that line more obvious because right now it just looks like this light is coming out of nothing, but it's because there's a little blip right here. I can make a bit more obvious. Yeah, that's already better. Okay. Sounds. Our house is like not greatly insulated because it's old, so whenever anybody comes up on the deck, I could really hear them when I'm sitting right here. Okay. I think all this vaguely makes sense. I think we're in the right direction. I think I need to deepen up right here a little bit more. Then I think after that dries, we get to try slapping some red on here and see what happens. That's always the scariest part when you're doing like a big wash of color to try and get something where you want it, and you're like, well, this could ruin the whole thing. We'll find out. And the worst that happens is I don't like it and we start over. And that's like really not that big a deal. Because I can do it again. It's not that scary. I can't do that quite yet. I need to wait for that side to dry or it's going to pull all the pigment over. I do think once this dries, you guys can't really see here. I'll tilt it up a little bit. I do think that I need to establish this line a bit more because I did paint right next to it, so it pulled some of the pigment. So I think deepening up right here once that's dry so that those do actually look like two different tubes. I think maybe deepening right here too to make an indent shadow similar to over here. Yeah, I think that's the right answer, Tens. Don't put yourself out for somebody else not doing their job, you know? Okay, I also think that I could make this line a little bit more obvious. It's a little bit more curved in my original drawing, and I flattened it out a little bit, so I think I will go back through and carve that out once most of this is dry. Actually, I can probably do that right now and it won't be an issue. Because I just want this to be like a little bit more obvious. Like that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. What is my next step here? I think maybe working on the veins a little bit. I want a smaller brush for that. Let's use this guy. I want to use this. I love how I always say that, like when I'm mixing on my palette, you guys can't see it. I'm in the way. I guess I could move myself over here. There usually isn't much going on over here. Is that better? I think the only reason I have all of my stuff over here is because I was originally keeping stuff off of the center of the screen so that I could do time lapses of art that I was doing on screen, but I decided that I don't want to do that. So what if I just move myself over there? I can do that. Hi, Aiden! Oh, they're gonna be gold, so I don't know if that will, like, stay happy for you. We'll see. We'll find out. Here, let me put... Like, you still can't see my whole palette, but you can at least see a little bit now? Is that better? I don't know. I guess I can move over a little bit more. Let me just nudge, talking so I keep my hand up. There. That's a little better, I think. Yeah. All right. Me just changing things on the fly. Hey, Coconut. Oh, you finally changed your name. Congratulations. I think you mentioned that you were going to do that. Yeah, we're going to red this up a little bit to make it more... Because it's really pink right now. Like, it's pink. So I am going to add some red over top of it to, like, deepen it down a little bit. But I think we're on the right track. I do still think that this guy is looking too flat. I think I need to mess with him a little. I also need to distinguish the line right here. Yeah, the unfortunate period of waiting for that. But for now, we're gonna work on some of the veins down here where everything's dry. Which is gonna involve some Prussian blue. We love Prussian blue. I do think I'm going to end up using a bit of Prussian blue down here for like the deepest shade. Like that. I think that'll slap. Yeah. I don't know about that, but I appreciate the compliment. I mean, not everything can be a banger. That's just the way of life, especially when you're like working on developing skills, you know? But it is nice to have a fan like Aiden, I will say that. Because I know if I'm ever feeling bad about something, I can just send it to Aiden and Aiden will be a little cheerleader for me. Same with Lib, actually. I can send it to either of you two and just get like key smashes in return. That's fair. That's fair. And we always are our own worst critics for sure. And I am definitely a worse critic than normal today. My brain is being a butthole. Which, like, my brain is often a butthole, but some days are louder than others. Oh, I need to deselect that so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Alright. Deselect. Thank you. Okay. Oh, that's really sweet, Coconut. Thank you. I'm glad I can help out. Yeah, right. Mine specifically is PMDD, and I've mentioned this on stream multiple times, but I'm trying to get all of my oh, my thing is too high up. You can see underneath. Hang on. Me getting completely fucking distracted the second I start a sentence. You know how it is. Like, we all know. Boop boop boop. There we go. Okay. I feel better about that now. But I'm planning on getting a hysterectomy next year, if I can manage it, so that my PMDD goes away, hopefully, or at least lessens, so that I don't feel like a disaster for half of my life, because that's where we're at right now, and it's not particularly fun. Yeah, I think one of the best things I've done for my art personally is reach a level of fuck it. I think saying fuck it in a lot of endeavors is very helpful. Um, so like, if this doesn't turn out the way that I want, fuck it. Like, it doesn't matter. If I learned something from doing it, then that is what I have learned from the piece, and it was still worthwhile. And I can always redo it if I want to. Like revisiting old art is a real thing that people do and that people like to see done. So like, it's really at the end of the day, it's not the worst thing. Well, that's what art school will do to you, Aiden. Such is the way. I don't know a single artist who came out of art school really raring to make more art. Uh, Most people take a break. Yeah, to be clear, I do not have a full-on degree in art. I did an art minor in addition to my BA, but I did consider going to art school and then didn't, and then I ended up an artist anyway. So, life is funny that way sometimes. I mean, even if you use a circle or if you use a tool for the circle, it still doesn't always end up perfect. Just throw that out there. Yep. Yeah, pretty much. So I basically ended up in the same career path that I would have anyway, except with less debt. Well, no debt. I was very privileged and I went to a school where my dad worked, which at that college meant that I didn't have to pay tuition. Um, and so I was basically just paying, studio fees and student fees and stuff like that instead of actually paying tuition. But even if I had paid tuition at the college that I went to, it was a lot cheaper than basically anywhere else. Um, it's kind of treated like a community college, even though it's not. Like, that's the kind of money level for the most part. So I got lucky there for sure. I do think I'm going to add a little bit more blue to some of the shadows up top just to even that out a little bit because I feel like it's a really drawing focus more than I want it to. Yeah, that's totally fair. This is not for everybody. I just kind of ended up here because my brain doesn't work. So I had like a really bad depression spell after I graduated and couldn't get into grad school for what I wanted to do, which turns out that's okay. I'm okay with where I am in life. Like I had to go through a lot of shit to get here, but my life is pretty good overall. So, and continues to go on an upward trend, which is nice. I've had like I know this year is not the best year that a lot of people have had, but my year is fucking rocked. Um I've had a very good year, actually, all things considered. I've ended up with like two wonderful partners. I've been doing a lot of really good work on myself, especially with their help. And just like, I'm moving forward. Things are happening. I have my business license this year. I'm officially a small business owner. Like, things are wild. Yeah, that's totally fair, Aiden. Yeah, I do think that my degree was really important. I think the degree that I got was important in my personal development. So even if it didn't end up professionally where I thought I was going to go, I do think that it was really important for me. Um, which maybe is not the most popular opinion for college, but I've never been one for focusing on being popular. Yeah, I fucking killed it this year. Which, to be fair, a lot of that is because of help. That's not just me doing stuff. That's because I have really wonderful, supportive people in my life, um, who I keep picking up more of, honestly, which is great. Another one of those things where it's like, oh, people like me and want to spend time with me? Neat. Yeah, I think adding the blue to the shadows here is like taking this to where I want it to be. I think that was the right call. Past Kitty, good work. I think adding a little bit here too. Thank you. Yeah, we're stuck together for the long haul, Aiden, I think. I don't think either of us are abandoning the other anytime soon. Oh yeah, nice coconut. I only really followed Artfight because of Cap. Because I get the privilege of seeing Cap do art on a regular basis. So it's fun to hear him, you know, ramble about the various characters that he's doing and stuff. His characters are really cool, but I like don't draw characters pretty much ever. Which is not to say that I couldn't, but that definitely isn't my focus. Right? Yeah. We're like, I don't know, we're like two peas in a fucked up pod. I don't think we're going anywhere. I think it may be time to let this dry and then add the red. I might add a little bit of pink on the top of these veins, just to like give the impression of a highlight. It's gonna just make it like purple because that's how color theory works, but I think just doing this in a couple spots will make that read as a highlight more in the certain areas. And I think that I will like that. And then that'll happen again when we use the red on top. Because right now they just feel so blue. Color theory is important. You gotta learn your skills. I think just doing like this makes me feel a little better about it. Good. I do have a ref sheet for my little, that's the wrong color. I didn't mean to pick that up. My little Celeste-like creature for whenever Rainbow has the space to open commissions again, because I want to get a little Angie emote. I fucking love her Angie emote so much. It's perfect. I use that all the time. I wish that I could just put that over my head, like when I'm having a bad day, just so that people know that I'm pouting constantly. Like that is the emotion. I gotta get an Angie. Angie. Okay. So right here, and right here. Okay. That's closer to what I wanted. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm feeling better than I was this morning, and I'm not feeling as wiped out as I thought I was going to, so I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we'll get back to working on this. I need a second to let this dry before we add the red onto it anyway. But that does mean that I'm going to run 3 minutes of ads, which means that you should also take a break and not watch the ads, because we don't like to let capitalism win here. So you should get up and get a snack or drink, or I don't know, also go to the bathroom, look at something farther away from your face than your screen so that it's good for your eyeballs. Maybe do a little stretch Rooney, you know, whatever is going to make you feel good. Maybe take your meds if you haven't. That's also a good life choice. And then we can meet each other back here in 3 minutes. All right, I'm back. Are you back? I think we're all back. Ah, welcome back, Sleepy. I'm glad that your shower went well and you didn't drown. You know, we like achievable goals. You could also actually put that away now. Okay. Up, up, up. Right? Like, we love a skill that is, like, repeatable, you know? Ah, good work, Coconut. My poor brother has, like, 3 essays to write today. Okay. I've seen something that I want to change before we add red, because that's part of the reason of taking breaks when you're doing art, is that you'll see something that you want to change. I want this to be different. I feel like I need a little bit of a, because this light is coming from back here, I think I've done the lighting some injustice here, so we're gonna futz with this a little bit more. Thank you. I just like didn't think about it, and I lightened up this part too much, deepened this part, so we're probably gonna pull some shading up from, like, some pigment up from the back too. But I do think that I can add another layer to the background as well. So I think my lightest point should be right there. So we're just gonna deepen her up a little bit. Oh, now that I'm back, I may need to sneeze. We'll find out together. I'm gonna need to do a couple layers of that, I think, to get that depth to where I want it. But that's okay. All right, it's Fuck It Friday, Tens. Let's go. Yeah, definitely not a good call, the late PM coffee. But sometimes just giving yourself like a little snack, like an apple and some water, will help a little bit. Like, even if just like taking a little bit of a break and moving around helps a fair amount. Yeah, decaf is also a good idea. Although decaf does still have caffeine in it, to be clear. Just in case anybody was wondering. It's generally like called trace amounts, but I'm delicate enough to caffeine that I still notice. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I'm very delicate, just in general, honestly, but also in a caffeine sense. Okay, that's better. I need to let you dry though. Is there anything else I really feel like I need to work on here? I would die. Like, literally, my heart would explode. Do you think maybe I want to make this a little bit pinker down here? Yeah, I used to drink a lot more caffeine in college, but for a while I was having health problems and they had me completely cut caffeine out. Because because it does exacerbate some other issues that I have. So I get to deal with that instead. But I do drink more caffeine than I used to. I started drinking coffee a lot more, honestly. You guys want to know the reason I started drinking more coffee this year? It's gonna make everybody go, "Ew, gay." All right, safe travels, Tens. I think somebody could probably figure it out on their own, honestly. It's because Cap drinks a lot of coffee, so when I drink coffee, it makes me think of Cap. So I started drinking more coffee since I started dating Cap. I have told him this directly too. I'm not really subtle about when I like somebody, you know. I'm sure none of you have noticed that even a little bit. I need paper towels so that I can pull up another segment because that's way too dark. So like it used to be I'd have maybe 1 cup of coffee a month. And now I drink coffee in the mornings more often than tea. Like nobody has ever accused me of being normal about romance. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, exactly, Sleepy. Those kind of things. It's great. I think I'm going to go back over this that I've pulled up with pink just to make it a little bit more in line with everything else, but I do think that I made it like way too pigmented. Which is fine. We can fix it. We can play Bob the Builder a little bit. Why am I holding 2 paintbrushes? Girl, get it together. Right? Because I'm sure that won't just end up with me like throwing a paintbrush across the room. Okay. Then I just go over that with some pink and then I think it'll be better. It's like having some underlying darkness there is fine, but we do have some light coming from there, so I think I overdid the shadows on that portion a little bit. Yeah, that's already better. All right. Okay. I think that's a little better. I think once this dries a little more, I can lift up some of the pigment right through here to make a higher highlight. Right there. I think I also want to do that right through here. And then I think we're pretty well on our way. Yes, exactly, Aiden. It's required. I think once I do those, we'll do another layer on the background just because I would like that to be a bit darker. Then we might call it for the day because I would like to give this a lot of time to dry before I do the big red wash on it. Yeah, Cap's usual Starbucks order is like a gigantic cold brew with extra shots of espresso in it. So, like, if I drank one of his regular coffees, I would straight up die, I think. I think my heart would leap out of my body and run away. Yeah. He likes a coffee. Right, Aiden? I don't remember exactly how many shots it is. I think it's 3 extra shots. I don't remember 100%. But like, hui. Oh yeah, I have a really nice electric kettle that has the variable temperatures because I do a lot of tea, so we have a lot of different kinds of tea in the house. Um, it's really nice. I like it. It's also nice to just like have your tea with a lower temperature so that you can drink it faster sometimes. Sometimes you just need to get the peppermint tea in your body faster, you know? I love so many teas. So I have a bunch from a specific company called Adagio. I also am a sucker for peppermint. I love peppermint tea. I mix peppermint and a little bit of vanilla rooibos to do what I call sweet mint, um, which is always really nice. But there are a few blends from somebody specific on Adagio, or Adagio. I've never known how to actually pronounce their name. I don't know which way they prefer. Um, but somebody named Kara McGee does fandom blends on there, and I think they're using they them now, and they're the reason that I started doing that, like through that company. So there's a Haymitch blend, so like from the Hunger Games, and I use that one a lot. It's got smoked, what is the name of that tea? Lapsang, I think, in it. So it's like nice and smoky, and it's really nice on like cold days. And I mix that one with one of her other blends called The Bulk. That's a character from Stars always remembers which character, and I'm never gonna remember. But it's one of the dwarf blends from The Hobbit. And she had to file the serial numbers off so that Tolkien would leave her alone. Thank you, Stars. I love you. But that one's like a pumpkin spice sweet blend, and it's really good. So I mix those two together for like cold winter mornings or like fall vibes. I also have a lot of jasmine green tea. I have jasmine Chung Hao through them that's my usual, and I put some honey in that. Yeah, Adagio actually sells pearls too, if you're interested. I believe they ship to Canada. I'm pretty sure that they have a location in Canada now. Well, I mean, nobody's shipping to Canada right now, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so I've been using them for a long time. I really like her Katniss blend too. If you like Thin Mints and like tea, you should try the Katniss blend because it basically tastes like Thin Mints. Yeah, you guys aren't allowed to have mail. Yeah, I will. You know what? I was gonna say I will send you a link to that after stream. I know for a fact that I won't remember. So I'm going to pull up this color and then I'm going to get you the link right now. Because who has memory in this economy? But I think that Adagio still has a thing where I can send you um, a $5 coupon if you decide to do that. Yeah, for sure. And Adagio does like little sample boxes and stuff too, and they have like little gift sets. Actually, the tea that I was drinking earlier was from one of their tea advent calendars, which is really nice. Here it is. Boop, boop, boop. God, my DMs lately are like a mess of 6,000 people. It's so hard to find anybody. I'm so popular. That isn't the button I meant to push. Listen to me. Thank you. There, I sent it to you so I don't forget. That's the blender that I really like. Pretty much all of her stuff, like if you like one of the teas in it, you'll vibe with her tea blends. She just does a really good job. Like it was to the point where they actually started paying her, even though it's just like a fan thing. When people order your blends on the shop, they give you like their purchase points, which mean you can get like extra money off, or there's like little exclusive things you can get added to your order and stuff. But she did so well that they actually started paying her. She's like master blender. She's also a really cool artist. She did all of the labels for her teas. Yeah, it's a really good price for the quality of tea you get, for sure. And I've been using that company since like 2012, and I've had maybe one issue with them, which is one of our bags of tea arrived and it had like a slash in it. But I messaged them and they refilled like the whole order for free for me, and it was great. They're like really good. I highly recommend. I will also say that if you do a lot of loose leaf tea, their Ingenuity is incredible. So it's a little, I'm not sponsored. I will throw that out there. I'm not sponsored, but if Adagio wants to sponsor me, I will literally drink their tea on stream every day for the rest of my life. But their Ingenuity is for loose leaf tea. Yeah, they're so good. So it's just like a little, it's similar to like the concept of a French press, except you have the filter in the bottom, and so it has a plunger. So you can set it on top of your mug and it will filter the tea out through the bottom so that you don't have like any debris from your tea in your cup. It's incredible. And we've gone through a few of those, but they last forever. We just use like a crazy amount of tea. My brother has at least 1 cup of Irish breakfast every morning and often has like up to 3 cups of tea a day. It's really good. I highly recommend them. Yeah, exactly. And because the leaves get stuck in there, it can make it really bitter. Especially if you're doing something like Earl Grey that has like a really intense level of citrus in it, I've found. But yeah, the Ingenuity is great and I love it. They are a little bit, like they take a little bit of effort to learn how to get clean, because you can take them apart and put them back together to clean them. But it's worth it. Yeah, I think Teavana had like really similar stuff for a significant amount of time. I'm pretty sure. But when Teavana went out of business, like I will say that Teavana had better travel infusers than Adagio has. I've used theirs and I don't like them. Even their improved one, quote unquote, is still just like not good enough in my opinion. But everything else they have is really good. And the advent calendars are always really fun. They do a decaf one, which is the one I've been getting. So you can have like your tea in the afternoon kind of a situation. Yeah, I know what I like, and I won't inflict that upon other people. But I will say, like, yes, this thing that I've used, I will use for the rest of my life kind of a situation. And that's definitely the Ingenuities. I do think that the first design of the Ingenuity is better than the second one. They did like a new improved design, and it's just like a different shape. Like, it's fine, but I don't think the different shape makes it any better. And I've found that the plunger gets stuck more often, like in the up position, so you end up pouring tea water everywhere. Oh, Adagio sells pumpkin spice loose leaf. They do. You should check them out. Here, I'll put the since I only sent that to... I should really just make this a command because I've typed it in my own chat so often. Yeah, they have in some of their like tea blends and stuff, they have little chocolate chips in them, which I think is nice. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Yeah. I do use a fair amount of sweetener in my teas, but that's just because I like sugar. They do have teas with chalky chips in them. I don't know if they ship to the UK. They probably do, but I don't think they have a brick and mortar over there, so it's probably like really expensive. Okay, I've made some more highlights on those veins. I feel better about it. We're gonna do a layer of the background here, another layer. I just dripped water on that, it's fine. Yeah, that's fair. Smart spot to start is here. Me thinking so hard about the best way to not put my hand in wet paint today. I guess I was turning this when I did it too, which will help, but... Oh, do they? Oh, I think that last time we brought it up, you checked, Aiden. I remember this now. Vaguely. Memory, who's she? Cap! I was talking about you earlier. I'm sure that this will shock and surprise you. We were talking about your Starbucks order. And now we're talking about tea. Yeah, I figured. I should have made sure you were sitting down before I said it. I figured that you would be drinking it at some point today. But I don't know that I remembered the order correctly, because I know it's cold brew with a number of espresso shots in it, but I don't remember how many. I guessed 3, but I don't know if I'm right. Oh, you didn't get any breaks today? I'm gonna steal your boss's kneecaps. 2, okay. I was close. Thanks, Aiden. I really should just make that a command at some point, because I talk about it enough. I should ask them if they'll sponsor me. I mean, the worst they can do is say no, right? Be like, hey, I do art streams. I'm really cool, and I talk about your product a lot. You should give me free tea. Oh, geez. Fun. That's great. Yeah, that's a perfect day for you. Love that. That's definitely what you needed. I'm sorry that work sucked. Yay! That's great, Sleepy. I'm not lactose intolerant, but I mostly use oat milk now anyway, just because I like it. It's the Canada Post that's striking. And yeah, they change how they ship stuff. So they actually use USPS to ship to us in Alaska because that's the most effective way to do it. So it depends on where you are, what they use. But it's Canada Post, not USPS, that's the issue for Canada because they're on strike. Yep. USPS is still shipping stuff. It's not. It's not them. Yeah, exactly. So I did, before I realized that Canada Post was on strike, or maybe I shipped it before they announced they were striking. I don't remember, but I shipped a piece of original art to somebody in Canada, and it's just waiting at the spot in Los Angeles and like the distribution center in Los Angeles, and has been since the end of November. And I'm like scared because it is an original art piece. So if it gets lost or damaged, I'm boned. Like I'm just gonna have to repaint it, and it's gonna suck. I think that the person who ordered it would be very kind to me about that, but I would rather not have to deal with it, you know? I don't know. I think striking is important. We've discussed this on stream before. Strikes are important, but they are meant to disrupt. That is the point, and it is disrupting. So there you go. I hope that they get better conditions. And I hope that that happens sooner rather than later so that I can send my wonderful boyfriend some Christmas presents. Man, now I want pizza. I should not get pizza. I convinced myself to not get Starbucks delivery yesterday because our driveway's a mess because of what the weather's been like. So it's been like really warm during the day and then like freezing again overnight. So our super steep driveway is basically a sheet of ice right now, and I would not force somebody to walk up that, especially not for the tiny bit of wage that like DoorDash gives you or whatever. Yep, exactly, Sleepy. Like I can understand that it's being disruptive to me personally and still want them to get what they're getting, you know? Like they deserve better working conditions and I will stand with them for this even if it is personally frustrating. And I will also say that a bunch of the articles that I've seen talking about it have been using small businesses like me as like a bludgeoning tool for why the strike is evil. No, stop that. We don't play that game here. I do need to go make myself lunch at some point. Actually, I don't know what I want. We have potatoes. I could make myself a baked potato. Yeah, it's just classic capitalism tactics. Honestly. And has been forever. It's easier to keep people from gathering against you if you keep them divided, you know? Such is the way. Oh, they did. There was exactly one person quoted in the article that I saw. And it was not as damning of an interview as they expected it to be. And you can tell that they really cherry-picked the interview. Yeah. Just like your sampling is bad and you should feel bad. I'm not sure you fully understand the situation, Coconut. Yeah, my city is actually regularly voted one of the top worst cities for pedestrians in the United States, which is really fun. Um, super, super great speaking as a lifelong pedestrian. I really hope that this comes off as a clean line because this is gonna look so good if it comes off as a clean line. If not, I'm gonna have to like shave the paper a little bit to make it a clean line, which is gonna be a pain in the ass, but it'll look good after I do that. Yeah, I don't drive. I've driven like a handful of times in my life, and the majority of those I got so anxious that my memory did not actually remember anything I did. So I basically got panicked so bad that my brain blacked out the entire time I was driving, which is not safe for anybody. So it's better for everybody if I stay a pedestrian. But yeah, I'm passenger princess for life. That's just how it's going to go. I do wish that I lived in a city with better public transport, though. All right. I said I was going to do that second layer of the background, and then I said I was going to end. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I also don't think I'm going to raid anybody today because I don't know. I'm in a weird headspace and I'm not going to want to stay there and be chatty. And I don't like raiding and running, especially if it's not somebody that I know really well. So, yeah, I'm probably going to go make myself a baked potato because I said that and it sounded really good. So I'm going to go make a microwave baked potato and take some chill time. So, yeah, thanks. It's just my brain being an asshole. It's nothing like bad. It's just PMDD. I'll live, but I'll bitch about it, you know. Um I may or may not be back on Tuesday. I'll warn you guys right now. I have a vaccine appointment that I had to move because they moved the time on me without asking me, and so I had to move it again. So I have a vaccine appointment early in the day, and I'm not sure if I'll make it back to my house in time to start stream at a normal time. And I might also be feeling crummy because vaccines make me feel crummy. So I will let you know on socials what the deal is. I just realized something I want to do on this painting before I end. Never mind. While I'm staring at it. This is why I should switch to the end screen immediately when I say I'm ending. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that this is, turning out pretty well. I think I need a better shade right here just to differentiate it from that other ventricle there. I think I just need like a little bit there. Like that. And then I'll feel better about it, and then we can actually end. Yeah, okay. Now we're good. I like that better. Thank you. I will hopefully see you guys on Tuesday, but if not, I will warn you on social media. I will be here on Friday. I have one more modeling session I got added to another day, so that's going to be on Monday. Shouldn't mess with you guys at all, but I might talk about it. I don't know. And yeah. Yeah, that's totally fair, Sleepy. I'm a little too chatty to do stuff like that, I think, for the most part. Um, so thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being niceys to me. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Remember that you're loved because I love you. And if you can't take care of and be kind to yourself for yourself, please do so for me because I think that you're awesome and deserve nice things, including from yourself, even on the days when it's really hard. So let's all just be a little bit kinder to ourselves, even when it's rough, and then we can get back together and tell each other our little victories, okay? So I will see y'all sometime next week and probably in other places on the internet because that's my home. That's where I live. So I'll see y'all around. Oh, yeah, for sure, Sleepy. I hope you enjoy it. I can also see if they still do the $5 off coupon, and I can email you one because I have your email. So I will go check and see if that's a thing. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.